Scientists have solved the mystery surrounding the Antikythera Mechanism, an ancient Greek device that was found in 1901 and is thought to be the first computer in history. And now, more than 120 years later, a talented team of academics from University College London has rebuilt the amazing machine using 3D imaging. The replication is not just a piece of breathtaking beauty and incredible creativity, but it has also allowed for a fresh perspective on how it operated. The fact that just 82 pieces of the original mechanism remain, making up only 33% of the calculator as a whole, prevented researchers from understanding its complete potential. For astronomers and marine archaeologists up until now, the front of the mechanism, which houses the majority of the gears, has been somewhat of a holy grail. The UCL researchers have rebuilt the antiquated computer through computer modeling, which has helped them better understand its intended purpose. Ours is the first model that conforms to all the physical evidence and matches the descriptions in the scientific inscriptions engraved on the mechanism itself, claims Professor Tony Freeth in a Scientific Reports article. According to Freeth, an amazing tour de force of ancient Greek brilliance features the sun, moon, and planets. Researchers have named the largest remaining portion of the mechanism Fragment A. It consists of a block, pillars, and bearings. Another component, dubbed Fragment D, has a plate, an incredibly complex 63-toothed gear, and an enigmatic disc. The mechanism's rear cover has inscriptions that researchers have just uncovered. These inscriptions describe the universe and the planets, which are represented by colorful beads that move on rings that are positioned around the inscriptions. The UCL researchers have now demonstrated that they can explain how the mechanism determined the cycles of the planets Venus and Saturn by using the data from current X-rays of the computer and their understanding of ancient Greek mathematics. Researchers have also been able to incorporate all the missing data on the cycles of the other planets that had been absent up until now, which gives even more significance to their discovery. The Antikythera Mechanism is much more than just a mechanism, according to Evangelos Valianatos, a book author who writes for Greek Reporter. He said that the Greeks made it, an astronomical computer that was extremely advanced and intricate. To do so, they built the astronomical gadget 2,200 years ago using cutting-edge astronomy, mathematics, metallurgy, and engineering. Some of the experts who researched computers were deeply worried by these factual truths about its age and its flawless, high-tech character. According to Valianatos, the Antikythera Mechanism stunned a few Western experts in the 20th century. For many years, they refused to refer to it as a computer, instead calling it an astrolabe, an effective tool for determining the location of the sun and other bright stars is the Greek-invented astrolabe. Yet in contrast to the Antikythera device, its technology is primitive. The Antikythera computer was a component of a larger scheme to advance society. According to Valianatos, Greek philosophers added the ideas of equality and justice as governing virtues in the cosmos to the cosmic elements of cold, hot, dry, and wet. The Antikythera computer was also created by that vision. The universe depicted on its front plate included the sun god Helios, his sister Selene, the moon's phases, the planets, and the main stars and constellations. The 365-day year and the inside circle of the zodiac, with its 12 constellations, encircled this universe. This incredible computer served as a conduit between the Greeks and the gods. It foretold the sun's and moon's eclipses and linked the cosmos and natural occurrences to excellence in athletics and culture, the Olympics, and other pan-Hellenic god festivities. Greek sponge divers found the Antikythera Mechanism within an antique shipwreck on May 17, 1901. Its estimated date of construction was determined by multiple investigations to be between 150 and 100 BC. A subsequent analysis dates it to 205 BC, which is barely 7 years after Archimedes' demise. On May 17, 1901, Greek politician Spiridon Stais paid a visit to a museum containing artifacts recovered from a historic shipwreck. One of the items that drew his attention was a circular metal fragment covered in green algae. It appeared to be unique among the items recovered from the seabed near the little Greek island of Antikythera. Local fishermen had only happened upon the shipwreck by mistake. A bronze arm, the first discovery from the Antikythera debris, was clutched by one of them as it emerged from the water. Immediately recognizing that this may potentially be a massive shipwreck, Styes coordinated the initial underwater excavation of the old wreck. The results were numerous and extremely significant. By far the most significant item among all the coins, pottery and sculptures discovered there was a peculiar thing that stuck out from the others. It was the Antikythera Mechanism, which scientists and archaeologists referred to as the world's first computer. The antiquated device has spent almost 2,100 years submerged at the ocean's floor. It was made of tarnished or rusty bronze gears and other metallic mechanical elements that had formerly moved smoothly. Scientists and archaeologists worked for decades to figure out the intricate mechanism's intended function. According to their estimation, it was built somewhere between 270 BC. In the last few decades, scientists have examined and rebuilt the Antikythera Mechanism's interior using CT scans and X-rays. Scientists came to the startling revelation that the apparatus was a complex system of about 30 interconnecting rotating gears that drove dials that tracked the sun, moon, planets, eclipses, and even the Olympic Games calendar. The hands on the dials were moved by a hand crank that rotated the gears. The user could then forecast when eclipses will occur and when celestial bodies would move across the sky. All of our research has shown that our ancestors used their deep knowledge of astronomy and technology to construct such mechanisms, said Kyriakos Evstathiou, a mechanical engineering professor at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and the leader of the group that studied the Antikythera Mechanism in 2015. Based solely on this conclusion, the history of technology should be rewritten because it sets its start many centuries back. The professor went on to say that because the Antikythera Mechanism has an entry where we can import data and this machine can bring and create results based on a scientific mathematical scale, it is without a doubt the first machine from antiquity that can be categorized as a computer in the scientific sense. We've never had a gadget like this, he said. Evstathiou stressed, we do not simply refer to a computer, but to a supercomputer. In 2016, an additional remarkable finding was uncovered upon revealing an inscription on the apparatus like a label or user manual. It covered the colors of eclipses, information that was utilized in the past to make astrological forecasts, such as the capacity to observe the precise timings of the sun and moon's eclipses and the proper motions of celestial bodies. The device has a handle on one side that initiates the system's movement. The user could pick a date that would disclose the possible astronomical occurrences that will occur around the Earth by manipulating the handle and the gauges in the front and rear of the machine. According to physicist Yiannis Bitsakis, the NASA website can currently provide comprehensive information on all past and upcoming eclipses. However, he noted that what we do with computers today was done about 2,000 years ago with the Antikythera Mechanism. The study team has been able to identify complete words from the 3,400 broken inscriptions by successfully reading them. This has helped them comprehend the functioning object and created something akin to a manual for using the device. The inscriptions on the object support the statement made by Xenophon Mousas, an astronomy professor, that today's computers and mobile phones have their roots in the gears of the mechanism. The most significant aspect, according to Mousas, is that the mechanism exhibits the application of physics rules. This is demonstrated by the inscriptions and the numbers 76, 19, and 223, which also display the manufacturer's name, which unambiguously state, "Well, I am a Pythagorean." The lecturer contended that this device, which is actually the oldest computer tablet, is the source of all civilization and technology, because the indicators appear to circle around the zodiac, displaying the movements of the planets and the moon. The system also incorporates an astrological calendar. The fact that the movements of the planets are directly connected to particular observation sites throughout the known world at the time adding to the wonder of this amazing machine suggests that the inventor of the Antikythera mechanism had intended for the machine to be used in multiple locations. The words Dodona and Alexandria were discovered engraved on the machine, which led experts to this amazing discovery. According to statements made by researchers, the mechanism also featured ways to predict the duration of athletic events scheduled every 4 years, such as the Olympic Games and the Isthmian Games. The Antikythera find, according to numerous scholars and all the scientists participating in the investigation of this amazing mechanism, is the most significant marine shipwreck finding in human history. In late 2019, the Antikythera mechanism was found at a wreck site off the southern tip of the Peloponnesian Peninsula. The findings were announced to the public by Greece's Ministry of Culture. According to the statement, a bronze ring, whose use is unknown, olive kernels and bronze nails from the ship were collected and now need to be analyzed. Old amphorae bodies were found in sections, and the bases and necks of the vase's primary bodies were among the other artifacts found. The kinds of amphorae are recognized as those that were traditionally used in southern Italy and on the island of Kos. This scientific mission of October 2019 completed the first 5-year research program, the Greek ministry stated. Preparations for the next 5-year program, which will commence in May 2020, will start right away with the continuation of excavation research in various sections of the wreck, where there are good indicators that stunning new findings will come to light, based on the latest research's results. The ministry further stated that the mission was concluded with great success despite adverse weather and the limited length of time for the rescue research. The Athanasios Laskarides Public Benefit Foundation provided funding for this study at the well-known shipwreck site. The 2017 Return to Antikythera Expedition movie examines the delicate and frequently dangerous job marine archaeologists perform in order to retrieve ancient gems from the ocean's depths. From September 4 to September 20, that year, the Greek Ephorate of Underwater Antiquities, Lund University, and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution organized the expedition, and similar to previous expeditions to the wreck, the crew returned from their visit with great satisfaction. The divers discovered a bronze statue's orphaned right arm, pottery pieces, nails, lead sheathing bits, and an unusual metal disc, among other relics, thanks to the favorable weather above them. The Return to Antikythera project team recovered glassware, fine ceramics, tools, anchors, counterweights, and even an ancient skeleton, whose DNA is still being examined prior to that mission.